Oh, she's ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're live.
Oh, good. Good evening, everybody at home, and good evening, everybody here at Title Night. Thank you to Tina of Title Night for inviting me tonight. So we're going to talk about how to become a better packer. And this is a great store to do it in because practically everything in here is fantastic for travel. Nice, lightweight stuff. My, of course, best advice I can give you before we even start is what you pack, you should be weighing it. You should be figuring out how much everything weighs. You should be weighing absolutely everything from your toothbrush to your underpants because it adds up. You need to know how much weight you can carry on your plane. That is one of your first assignments. Look at your airline, look at their carry-on restrictions. And I'm always insisting on carry-on because carrying on means less hassle at your destination. Also because your things will not get lost. And I've been a tour guide for so many years, believe me, when people check, their bags, they get lost. Actually more frequently than you realize. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Sarah. I own Adventures with Sarah Tours. I've been a travel journalist for 25 years. I started with Rick Steves 25 years ago, was a tour guide for him in Italy. I wrote 3 of his guidebooks and was a tour guide all over Italy and the rest of Europe. Started my own company about 10 years ago, and we do all kinds of great things like I'm going to India in a month, and we have a Thailand tour starting this weekend, and we do all kinds of really fun adventures. And we have a fun new tagline that my boyfriend, who is a communication specialist, helped us come up with, which is, we make adventure easy, which is true. So, it's true, because we travel with me here in the audience, and that's kind of one of our favorite things, to make adventure easy. So, traveling with less stuff is how you make adventure easy. But also, traveling with less stuff, once you get used to it, you go home and you don't understand why you own so many things. I think all of us own too much. I mean, my house is chock-a-block with things I just don't want anymore. I've reached that point in my life where my kids are in college and I want to burn everything. I'm so done with owning things. And I think part of that mentality comes from the fact that I can carry a small bag on an airplane and live out of it for 2 months. And then I get home and I think, why do I own so many clothes? Why do I own so many pairs of shoes? Why do I own anything if you really can get by with owning so little? So I hope that that's something you think about when you're traveling, when you really restrict what you bring with you. You can get by with so much less than you think. And tonight, one of the things we're going to talk about is you don't need that. That's going to be a big part of what we talk about because a really great strategy for slimming down what you bring is the mentality of you don't need that. Because you please do not be convinced by the internet or things you see on social media that you need. Like right now, I know it's that turtle pillow, the thing on the plane that you put so it'll prop your head up. You know what will work really well too? Is your jacket just all balled up and stuck underneath your shoulder. And then you don't have to carry this device with you for the rest of your trip. So there's just all these products and things out there that people want you to buy. You don't need to buy those things. You can just bring less. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you something about you don't need that, which is, this is all we're going to look at, what's in this bag. This is enough for a 2 or 3 week trip. And this is a generic trip. I'm not thinking about it season-wise. This would be fine for going to Italy tomorrow. This would be fine for going to, Morocco in September. This kind of would work for just about anything. And I'm going to have my little friend Laura come on.
For a long time.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pick this up and tell me, is that heavy or not heavy?
It's not too bad.
Okay, now I want you to pick this up and I want you to tell me if you think this is heavy or not too heavy.
Oh, it's empty.
Yeah. But what is the weight comparison compared to the other one?
This is a half a pound lighter than this.
Okay. This is an empty suitcase. And this is a half a pound lighter than a completely fully packed bag.
Wow.
Okay? So if you guys want when we're done, you can come up and you can feel this. This is a super typical roll-on bag. I like this bag. I bought it recently for a completely different use. I wouldn't normally travel with a rolling bag because they are so heavy. It was fine. It's a nice bag, but that is not a great bag for travel if you're going to be doing a lot of moving around, like taking trains. If you're in Italy, taking the Vaporetto in Venice. That's terrible. You don't want something that heavy. So this is just something to consider, first of all, is the bag you choose is going to have a lot to do with whether or not you're a happy camper. Because lugging this thing all over the place, particularly things with these wheels like this, everybody loves these you know, four-wheeled rollers. They're so smooth, they're spinners, isn't that cool? No, that's not cool when you're on cobblestones. I actually have, and I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before, I've had people like break limbs with these because one of the roller wheels will get stuck in a cobblestone hole. I had a woman trip over it and she broke her arm in like 6 places. So I don't love these. So this is just to say you can, and you absolutely should try to travel with a backpack if you can. I know that's not accessible for everybody, but the other point is if you're looking at a rolling bag, just go ahead and pick it up empty. You should have no effort lifting an empty rolling bag. You should be able to pick it up with one finger. This is not that. This is probably 9 or 10 pounds, just this. And the reason that's important is a lot of airlines have a weight limit too. So I know for us, we can get on any plane we want with a bag as long as it's a certain shape. Lufthansa is a good example. If you're carrying your bag on, it has to be under 15 pounds total. Now, if I've just dedicated 10 pounds to the bag alone, what am I taking with me? Like a pair of shoes, basically. So that makes a really big difference. So think about weight. But the other idea that I want to talk to you guys about tonight, which I think is kind of fun, is there's an internet theory going on around that I actually decided to try, and it fits in perfectly with what I like to do, called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you use this idea, it actually is really great because, again, it's helping you to detach from what you think you need. I think that we feel like when we go traveling, we want to look really good. We want to have great outfits, and we want to have everything coordinated. So the first thing is, number one, the people you see on the streets of Milan will never ever see you again. They don't know you, they don't care what you're wearing, and they will never see you again. If you had one really snappy outfit and you wore it every day of your trip, every person you're going to encounter is going to think that looks cute because they've never seen it on you before. And they will never see you again, so it doesn't matter. So we need to get detached from the idea that we need to look cute every day. I think what I have on is really cute, and I would wear this on a plane. This is a really typical layering idea outfit where it's a dress, so if it gets hot, I can just wear the sundress, leggings, which I can put underneath a bunch of different things, and a cardigan I can put over a bunch of different things. Now that you've seen this outfit, do I care if I wear it tomorrow? Because I'm probably not going to see you tomorrow. You know, it doesn't matter. So we need to get detached from the idea that we need lots of outfits. I think the more important strategy with packing is being comfortable temperature-wise. And if you're a woman who's, let's say, over 40, you already understand you have to be clothed to adjust to temperature changes, sudden temperature changes. So that's also something to consider. How can you layer things so you're always comfortable? So this is kind of the idea that I want to stick with and talk about today. So it's really easy. This little backpack itself weighs nothing. I think it weighs maybe 7 or 8 ounces. So the backpack itself weighs nothing. This is a cheapie from Amazon. I think I paid $25 for it. This is a waist suitcase that weighs 10 pounds-ish, something like that. And it was like $300. So the $20 solution is great too. Is my trip going to be better because I have the expensive bag? No, my trip's going to be the same. Nobody cares what suitcase I have. So on the inside, I have everything broken into packing cubes, and that just makes it a little bit easier for me to know what's where. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these packing cubes. And it's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 idea. So this is how I'm doing this. Everybody, you can do this differently for everybody. 5 is tops. That's what you should have the most of. 5 tops. So for my tops that I've chosen shirts. This is also men, same advice. You want to choose probably 2 lightweight shirts, 3 heavier shirts, or change it up depending on the weather you expect. I like to wear sleeveless tops or short sleeve things because I like to layer them. So for me in this particular version, I've got 2 short sleeve shirts. So these are just 2 really simple t-shirt-like shirts, but they're kind of nice enough that they could pass with a skirt, for example.
So how long of a trip is this?
I'm going to say 2 weeks. Let's just, or you could even stretch it up to 3. So there's one shirt. The next shirt is the same thing, but this one has roll-up sleeves. This is like a travel brand where you can roll the sleeves up to make it look like it's a sleeveless shirt. I kind of like this for Italy because you can fake it as covering your shoulders in a church, for example. But if it's hot, you can roll it up, and there's little tabs inside the shirt here that you can roll up so you make it look more like a sleeveless shirt. Neutral colors, and you're going to see the colors are going to kind of all work together. Then I have just a plain black tank top. This is silk. I love silk clothing. Eileen Fisher is my favorite. Men can also get silk clothing as well, knit clothing. Silk weighs nothing and it's lightweight. It doesn't make you stinky and it washes up surprisingly well. I'm not really picky with my silk. I put it in the washing machine. You're not supposed to. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It turns out fine. Another tank top or sleeveless top. And do you see the colors that I'm getting at here? White, black, a little bit of this gray brown. And then just in case I'm feeling a little more festive, a long sleeve collared shirt. I would not wear a long sleeve collared shirt in my normal life. I don't ever wear this. You've never seen me wear this in Seattle, and I never would because I'm not that proper. But when I'm traveling, I love long sleeve collared shirts, lightweight ones, because you can also have it look like a jacket, right? If I have a black dress on or something, this can be a jacket. So this is a very simple palette, 5 tops. That's fine. Like if I'm going out and the temperatures are changing, I can find a top that's gonna be fine. So those are my 5 tops. Then 4 is pants. That almost seems excessive to me, but you can change it up depending on what you want. So I have a pair of gray pants, a pair of denim pants, and these are actually from Costco. Costco of all places carries some pretty decent stuff that's good for travel. They carry Columbia sometimes.
I think they've been crazy. Like I got a jacket from Costco.
They have been really on
They've been
point.
on point.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm super tall, and sometimes they don't have the color or the size that I need. You can order it online now. So I think these were like $15, and they mailed them to my house. And they're not denim. They look like it, but they're not. They're super, super lightweight, and they're cute, and they're kind of like, you know, I'm super tall. These would be regular pants on you guys. I'm 6'2". Don't scale's not right. Anyway, but you can see the colors are working, right? Then I have just a pair, similar kind of cut, these nice baggy kind of loose pants. I love traveling in these because you can sleep in them if you have to. These are just black with a little bit of a dot. And then in this particular iteration, I'm just imagining I'm going, let's say to Italy, and I have a skirt because I might be feeling fancy. And that skirt could be paired with the leggings underneath this. So you have kind of a black, you could have an all black outfit if you wanted. But these things all match because I've chosen specific colors. And to tie this stuff all together, now you can groan if you want. Scarves are kind of amazing. You don't have to love scarves. In my real life at home, I don't really wear a scarf out with my, Patagonia jacket. But if I'm traveling around a lot, this is such a great way to tie outfits together, to make the colors all go together, but also to keep yourself warm. You can use this on the plane instead of that pillow-like neck thing. You can stuff a bunch of your stuff in here and tie it up and make a makeshift pillow. I could probably do a whole hour just on things you can do with a scarf. This particular one I chose because look, I like the dots, and it all kind of works. This goes with every pair of pants. This goes with every top. So this could be what you start with. If you're a scarf person, pick out a nice big scarf, a really big one, because they're a little more versatile. And then once you pick that out, just grab clothes that match this scarf. It couldn't be easier. And I kind of like the fun, funky, dots. Don't choose all solid color clothes. For men too, don't choose all solid color clothes. Don't choose only black clothes, because you're gonna get bored. You're gonna get really bored. You're gonna be tempted to buy something new, or maybe you go with that idea. Maybe you go going, I'm gonna have to buy something new. But it is very easy to get bored with your clothes. That's why I try to have a little bit of variety. So that's 5, that's 4. Now going to 3, I have a surprising 3, and that is shoes. I bring 3 pairs of shoes. And I know that sounds crazy, but I was a travel journalist, have been for so many years. There were days that I would walk more than 15 miles. And if you're walking that much, and if as a tourist you will be, your feet get tired of shoes. And no matter what you do, no matter how nice your insoles are, your feet are going to need a break from those shoes. So having 3 pairs you can rotate between is going to make your trip a lot better, because nothing can really trip faster than having feet that are achy and unhappy. So don't think you're going to buy shoes when you're traveling. It's really hard to find good shoes when you're traveling. It's hard to find ones that fit and do well. Buy them here, do a lot of research, find things that speak to you. Also, look for shoes that are lightweight, obviously. So the couple that I brought as an example, on this Imagine trip, I'm saying Italy in May, I have a pair of flats like this. And I have a pair of tennis shoes, which I think are kind of spicy with a little pattern in the back. But they weigh almost nothing. These are called Fresh Foam. They're New Balance. You can find the weight of shoes on Zappos. If you go onto the Zappos website, when you find a pair of shoes you like online, they will have the weight. The other crazy thing you can do, which I've done, is take a scale into Nordstrom and weigh the shoe and find out in your size what does that weigh. Because instantly when you weigh shoes, you're gonna realize this is where most of your weight goes. And I know a lot of men say to me, oh, well, this advice doesn't work for me. Oh, but it does. Because yeah, men's shoes are gonna be a lot of the weight, but I'm 6'2" and I wear a men's size 10.5. And I'm still able to pack light. So you can, but it's just making smart choices. So this is a very lightweight shoe. And even for men, I would also recommend bringing a super lightweight flip-flop. Now, the reason, even if you don't want to wear flip-flops in the city, flip-flops are really great for taking off your regular shoes and using them for running down the street for a coffee or whatever, because it's giving your feet a break. So that's where I do 3. Almost uncompromisingly, I always, to every destination, bring 3 pairs of shoes. And this is just so totally out of experience of walking so much for my job. So those are the 3 I've chosen: flip-flops, flats, and pairs of shoes. Okay, so that's my 3. My 2 is like jackets, outerwear, sweaters, that kind of thing. I've decided on this particular trip, I'm gonna need sweaters. You're gonna need a coat, for the plane or whatever, but in this case, I have 2 different sweaters. This is just a white cardigan sweater. This goes over the top of everything. Cashmere is my favorite thing to take traveling, even though it is fussy. If you get it from this is from Macy's, I got it on clearance for $40. So if I ruin it, I don't really care. This is gonna be a great companion because cashmere is super, super warm, and it's also very, very, very lightweight. So I get more warmth out of this than I would out of a fleece. And I think fleeces, they don't look so great, honestly. This is equally warm to a fleece, and it's a little classier looking, goes with everything, so that's perfect. And then the other sweater I chose just for an idea is black, and it's like a kind of mesh sweater. It's a little see-through like that, a little sheer, so you can put it over things, and you can layer a bunch under this. I could put 2 shirts underneath this if I needed to. So that's another idea, something a little more sheer that then you can just do many layers. And if you look at women in Italy or France and you're like, wow, they're so stylish. Why are they so stylish? Why don't we look like that? I'm gonna tell you the secret right now. It's layers. That's what it is. They'll put on one color top, then they'll put on a sweater over the top, then they'll put on a jacket over that, then they'll put a scarf over that, and they'll have all these accessories. That's why they look so good. It's because they do layers. So really, this system forces you to be chic. So I don't think that's terrible. So believe me, I don't look as chic, as I said, wandering around Seattle. I look much cooler when I'm traveling because I have to think it through. And I've also made sure that absolutely everything I grab matches. Today, I was laying around in a pair of purple tights and a yellow Disneyland sweatshirt. I look like trash in Seattle anyway. But when I'm in Italy, I look amazing because I've actually taken the time to make sure everything goes together before I leave the house. And now, if I'm tired and I roll out of bed and I just grab a shirt, a sweater, and a pair of pants, it doesn't matter which I pick. They're all gonna go together. So, I remember a kid that I went to college with. He had the same t-shirt and the same pair of cargo pants. And he had 4 pairs of each. 4 pairs of cargo pants, 4 t-shirts, and they were all exactly the same. And his theory was, you should not waste your mental energy dressing. And I love that. I mean, I'm gonna live like that, but because I like to parade. But that's kind of the energy that this system is bringing, isn't it? Like, you no longer are expressing mental energy in the morning. You're grabbing what doesn't stink. Or you're grabbing whatever the first thing you grab is, and you're putting on a base layer, an over layer, a pair of pants, you're done. And the same scarf with everything. You just cut 20 minutes out of your day trying to decide what to wear. So that saves you time so you can spend it on more fun stuff. Going to the 1. Now the 1 is not really a 1, it's kind of a 1. So 1 for me is 1 of each. So 1 is 1 extra bra. I got a bra on, bring 1 extra. So, but they better be the most comfortable bras you own. I like to travel with sports bras in particular, but please be comfortable, the most comfortable bras you own. Do not assume you can buy a bra when you're traveling. I can't. can't find them when I'm traveling. So choose your 2 most sturdy, comfortable bras. 1 pair of pajamas, whatever that is. Lightweight, even if you just wear a t-shirt or a tank top. Even if you don't typically wear pajamas, which, let's be real, some people don't wear pajamas. Bring pajamas because you never know when that hotel is going to have a fire alarm. Ask me how I know. So bring the pajamas, okay? Another one is 1 pair of compression socks. These are super important for your health. If you've never worn them on a plane, try it. It will change your life because it really improves your circulation. So this is a really, really important step. 1 pair each of black socks and white socks. That's it. So that's just a total of 3 pairs of socks. So I don't bring a lot of socks, also because, like these shoes, I don't typically wear with socks. The tennis shoes are the ones I wear with socks. And if I'm going somewhere that's vaguely warm, I might end up in sandals all the time. I think a lot of people bring socks and never wear them. So that's one thing you can be a little bit more careful about. And then this is a whole bunch of underwear. 1 pair per day. Because the one thing that you cannot live without is fresh underwear. So that's a lot of underwear and it's worth it. And you're gonna thank me when you wake up in the morning and you have 1 pair left because you just haven't had time to wash them. And often what I'll do is I'll just use shampoo in the hotel. At the end of each day, wash my underpants and hang them up to dry so there's always one drying. Just keep the underwear constantly cycling, but this is the thing that will ruin your day. If you wake up and you have no clean, I mean, a bra that's not the cleanest, you can, hang it out to dry or spritz it or something like that. But underwear, you can't go dirty underwear. So 1 per day, so 7 pairs. If I'm assuming a 2-week trip, you can cycle through each, you can wash each one time while you're gone. So I change underwear every day. I know that's TMI, but maybe you have a different vibe I do, right? So that's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 period. And do you know how long it took me to put this together? It's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That was so fast for me just because I had rules. No more than 5 shirts. Just pick 5 shirts. Pick 2 short sleeve, 2 no sleeve, 1 long sleeve. Just grab ones that match. So just having that rule in your head really, really reduces the amount of mental energy because that's it. That's all you need. I don't need a dress because I picked a skirt. So if I want to have something a little more fancy, and men could do this exact same thing too. There's no reason you couldn't. Actually, men could probably get away with fewer pants. They could get away with maybe 3 pairs. But maybe put a pair of shorts in there instead. Something like that. So it's just a good rule of thumb, and it really made things easier. The other things you're going to want, for sure, that are necessary, you're going to need your toiletries kit. And I keep my toiletries kit to this. This is your standard TSA clear-sided. This is a TSA-approved one. This is from Tom Dinh. I love this one. It was quite expensive. You can find cheapy ones on Amazon. You can even just do a quart Ziploc bag. But keep your toiletries to this. And I know that a lot of women go, oh, but my makeup, oh, but my hair care products. You know what? Nobody's going to see you ever again. It's okay. You don't need to have the best makeup ever. But you can also get smaller sizes of all the things you already use. So this is the place where I encourage you to buy stuff. Go to Sephora, and if you have a lot of products, and ask them for trial size ones. Or go to Macy's, see if you can get sample size things, because you don't need as much. So this is everything I've got in here. The one thing I do love to do, highly recommend, go into the pharmacy at your destination. This is a fantastic face cream that has SPF in it that I got in France. This is like $100 at home, but I think I paid $30 in France. So this is a great thing. So you can actually get away with coming with very little in your toiletries bag and just pick things up when you're traveling. This is that little half size. This is a mascara I love that doesn't run, and I found a little half size one. So if you do some research on stuff you already use, you can also find some things that are smaller. One of the other things I wanted to point out, I do love to bring my own shampoo and stuff like that. This is the bottle I recommend looking for. Look at these little pouches. That's 3 ounces, and it's refillable. You can put your own stuff in here. But here's the extra special trick, and I haven't done it with this yet, but I'll be doing this, and I'll have a video up on my website soon about it. You can leave it with you can fill it a month ahead, 2 months ahead. 2 months ahead, fill it up, put it on your bathroom counter, leave it. It's gonna evaporate. It's gonna take your favorite shampoo, and it's gonna concentrate it. And then you fill it up again with your favorite shampoo, and you let it evaporate. And then by the time you leave, you're gonna have a very small bottle of extremely concentrated shampoo of your choice. And if you wanna get really crazy, you could actually do the same thing by pouring it into like a baking dish. and let it dehydrate to the point that it turns into a solid shampoo. You can do this also with conditioner. So by doing this, you can have your own products dehydrated completely, and you have the things you want in your bag, and you can actually go completely liquid free. So you don't even have to have a bag like this. You can get rid of all of your liquid products and walk through only with solidified stuff. The only thing I would recommend, a lot of people are selling shampoo bars. Now I'm sure you've seen those, the dry shampoo bars, the dry conditioner bars. You will never in a lifetime use any one of those things on a trip. You'll never use that. Those bars are like this big, and they weigh a ton, and that's like 4 shampoo bottles worth of shampoo. You don't need that. Like, if you buy that, sure, go ahead and cut a slice off, or cut little chunks off, and have it be like a single-use chunk. But bringing that whole bar is heavy and not at all worth it. But those are still like $12 or $15 for those little bars, whereas I just took my favorite shampoo and I've reduced it down to my own little bar. So that's a great way to really make things super duper light. The other things I'll grab is I have some things in here that were just like toiletry items from the hotel, you know. A shower cap's a great thing to steal, because you never know when you have something disgusting that's going to need to be isolated, especially toiletries that leak. So in here, this is just all my favorite stuff. Deodorant's a funny one because there's so many great deodorant options now for travelers. This is just from Target. It's Christmas scented because this was for my Christmas tour, so I smell like mistletoe apparently. But they also have ones that are paste. This is what I'm experimenting with. There's some of these that just come in a little tube. It's just a little paste you put about the size of like a pea on your finger, and you put it in your armpit. Those are more, they last longer and they weigh nothing. So that's another way to reduce your footprint. The other thing I do is if I ever get these little tiny toothpaste tubes, I'll bring these. There apparently are toothpaste tablets that you can chew, but my dentist does not recommend. So this is something spend your space on is the toothpaste. But this I bought in Italy actually. So again, you can buy toiletries elsewhere, no problem. So the other thing I would recommend is obviously a good toothbrush. The one that I recommend is this one. If you love your Sonicare at home, Sonicare makes a travel one. Look how cute that is. And it has a USB charger. So you can charge it before you go, and one charge lasts for a whole trip. I think this one, yeah, this still works. I haven't charged this in about a year, and it still works. So this is really inexpensive. I want to say it's about $30. You can get it at Target or Walmart or wherever, or order it if you want. So that's my favorite one, and it has its own little case. So if you have a dental situation, this is the place to go. And then I also have in this bag, and this is really the last thing I have in here, I have my You Never Know kit. So I will give space over to You Never Know. And You Never Know is, let's see, it has UTI medication, it's got pads, it's got tampons, it's got aspirin, it's got, you know, all the things. It's got cold medicine. Anything that happens to you normally at home is probably going to happen to you while you're traveling. So if you have a chronic health condition, or if you're really prone to getting sinus infections or whatever, don't assume you can get the same stuff elsewhere. Often you can get stuff that might even be better than what you have at home, but don't make that assumption. You know, I'm thinking about all the people who went with me to Cambodia that got a lot of really illegal stuff over the counter at the pharmacies there. Carrie's laughing because yeah, you know. So you can go to pharmacies and you can buy a lot of interesting stuff, but if you have something specific, like I'm thinking if you have a sinus infection that's recurring all the time, bring that with you. If you have some other thing, just bring it with you. And this is something I always have, because you just never know. So that's everything that is in my main bag. This bag probably weighed, I would say, about 12 pounds. That's fine. That's all you need. The other thing I would bring is just I have started carrying a much smaller day bag. I used to carry a big, fat tour guide bag. This is my bag now. It's little, it's fine, it's crossbody. This is the number one thing I have to point out. Crossbody, because I keep my hand on it like this all the time. Nobody's going to steal it from me when they can steal something from somebody who's not paying attention. You know, this is all it takes to deter theft, just like that. On the inside of my bag, I have a separate pouch. This is another Tom Bin bag that I love. They have a shop here in Bellevue Square. It's their only store. Their stuff's very expensive. Tom Bin, B-I-H-N, and it's in Bellevue Square. Their stuff is outrageously expensive, and I'll tell you why. You will never replace it ever. There's stuff you buy it once, and it will last you for absolutely ever. This pouch alone, I think, is probably 15 years old, and it's just like new. But their system is really cool because they have these little loops inside of everything, and they have things that clip in. So this pouch that I clipped in has my passport, my credit cards, anything that I need that's really critical, I put in there. I also in here have my box of awesome, which some of you know about my box of awesome. This is my little $1 kit that I got, first aid kit from Target, that I filled with all kinds of delightful little things like, let's see what's in here today. A manicure set, a little pouch of sunscreen. Oh, somebody gave me this on one of my tours this year. It's rapid relief aspirin in case somebody gets a heart attack. You open it up and you put it on their tongue and it quick dissolves. I also have in here Temperin to fill a filling or to replace a crown if it falls out of your mouth. So there's all kinds of things that you can put in here that are going to be lifesavers. This is tenacious tape that can fix just about any rip or if your shoes fall apart. Little glue dots. Floss is a very funny thing. Floss can be very handy. Safety pins. I always steal the sewing kit out of the hotel because you can never have too many little sewing kits. Those always come in handy. Band-aids, of course. So this is a work in progress, and my fans always send me things, and I love that because I always get random little gifts to put in here. So it's an evolving project. The other thing that my boyfriend likes to insist we carry are hydration tablets or packets. Super good for hot weather. And this has kept people from passing out on my tours. So keeping like hydration tablets, that's a good idea. Backup glasses, if you wear glasses. AirPods, I like these a lot. I take them with me everywhere. You can actually get the AirFly thing now to plug it in, so you don't need to have the headphones. You all know that, but it's a thing you can connect your headphones to, not just the airplane, but if you're on a tour, they'll often give you an audio system. So now you can use the AirFly to plug it into the radios for a tour if you're on, and you can use your own AirPods for the audio. So that's a clever way to use AirPods. Don't forget your base charger, but I always like to bring just the slimmest possible little adapter. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but you don't need to bring a giant power adapter anymore. You don't need this. That's something from 20 years ago. Just a little thing, because this converts the current. So no matter what country I'm in, if I just have the right prongs, that's all I'm looking to do is just change the prompt. So now I'm ready for Europe, because I just added this. Apple, by the way, this, you may not know that it does this. It actually removes. Did you know that? You can go to the Apple store and you can buy different ones for each country, and so you just bring that. I know, did I just blow your mind? It's meant to come undone, so you can put a different country's prongs on there if you want. You can never have too many of these, by the way. And depending on what phone you have, bring one that has the big old USB connection and the little USB-C connection, because if you're renting a car, you never know what the connector in the car is going to be. So bring both. I would say go crazy. It's like underwear. Bring as many as you want, because you will never regret bringing extra phone chargers. What else is in here? Oh, Tide stick. This is my little tube of random medications, just in case. Yeah, so that's just kind of the basics. Just put the basic things you need into your day bag. So that's basically all I would take if I were to walk out the door. I could pack this back up, and I could head to the airport right now, and I'm actually serious about that. I do have my passport on me. So, anybody want to go to Paris? Yeah, so this is seriously all you need. My phone, of course, is the other thing that I need. You actually now can upload your passport as a digital ID on your phone. It's not yet accepted as ID at airports, but that's a really great backup in case something happens. So I have my phones backed up on my phone as well, or my credit cards backed up on my phone as well. So I have many, many safety layers.
Do you have global entry too?
I
They
do.
accept it now too.
I love it so much.
Do they really? Yeah, on global entry.
Yes.
It's an app on your phone and they accept it.
It's amazing. If you don't have global entry, please do. And here's the trick on global entry, because if you don't have it, and let's say you're going to Paris tonight, if you apply now, you can do the interview on arrival if you've never had it before, because I just did this with my son. We applied for his global entry because he just turned 18. We did it 2 days before our flight, and they gave us the conditional approval. And then as soon as we landed, we went into the office and they talked to him for 15 minutes, and then he got his global entry. Versus had I applied for it and asked for an appointment. It could have been months waiting for an appointment. So if you apply and you say, oh, I'm flying back into Seattle on this date, then you just walk up to the agents for customs and you say, hey, where's the global entry interview on arrival? And there you go, taken care of. And fun fact, you can get global entry for free with many credit cards, especially if you have like an Amex Reserve. any of the kind of higher end expensive credit cards, they will pay for your renewal as well if you already have it. So just keep an eye on that. That's a great, it's only like $100, but still, hey, who doesn't want to save $100? So, so any questions about the stuff I have put into my bag? Okay, so just a note, Title IX, if you guys want to like poke around, all of their stuff is perfect for this. These pants are so adorable, but they weigh nothing and they're very comfortable. All of these little dresses, like you could get a little dress and wear exactly what I'm wearing with a dress like this with leggings and something over the top. So their clothes are absolutely ideal for the system that I've laid out for you. So you could just come in here, buy 5 tops, buy 4 pairs of pants, the whole thing, and just pack, and you could take your flight to Paris tonight. So very easy. So the last little part I wanted to talk about tonight, I love this little bag that I bought with the devil saying, hey, have you tried cheese? This is my bag of evil temptations. So the bag of evil temptations is here to tell you, do not take this with you. So here are the things I do not want you to bring with you. And this is going to be a tough love moment because you're going to say, but I want it. And I'm here to be mom and say, you don't need it though. Okay, so this is the bag of temptations. Temptation number 1, which comes from my cameraman, you do not need workout clothes on your vacation. You don't. You're all like, oh, I'm definitely going to hit the gym when I'm traveling in Colombia. No, you're not. We go to Hawaii. Oh, we're definitely going to go to the gym when we're in Hawaii. Do you know how many times we've gone to the gym in Hawaii? Once, ever. So, no, you're not going to be doing yoga when you're on your trip to Paris. You're not. You really aren't. Just please give it up. If you decide you want to do exercise when you're in a foreign place, I bet you can buy some exercise clothes while you're there. So please don't pack running shoes. Please don't pack workout gear. You're not going to use it, and it's just going to waste your space. Sorry, it's true. You do not need these things that Target wants to sell you. All of these travel size stuff that's going to end up in a landfill. You don't need this. I've just outlined for you a way that you can go ahead and you can take things you already have in big sizes. You can skip the whole thing with bringing extra plastic with you and reuse what you have. Conversely, you might already have these things at home, right? If you do, just refill them and reuse them. Because these little travel size things are killing me. Like how much waste travelers put in their suitcases. So think that through. Like copper tone, this is great. This is sunscreen. If you have a contact lens case, you can fill both of those little slots with this because that's probably all of the sunscreen you may need for a trip if you're not going to be going somewhere super sunny and you just want it for your nose, for example. So kind of think that through, how to not purchase new packaging. You don't need that. You have plenty of packaging at home, just reuse what you got. Speaking of delightful packaging, now if you ever fly premium or business class, they give you these beautiful little kits and they're so pretty. And do you know how many of these I have in my house that I don't know what to do with? This, you don't need this, and it's really okay to leave it on the plane. It's hard to leave it on the plane. It's hard because it's so cute, but believe me, if you want one, you can come to my house. I will give you one, because I can't help it. I take them with me, but what am I never going to do with this little pouch? I have pouches I already use. I don't need that. Take the products out if you must, but you really can leave the whole thing and just leave it for the next passenger, because if I take this on my way to somewhere, this pouch is coming with me for the next 2 weeks, and I don't want any of the stuff in it for my trip. So if they have socks or something, maybe I'll steal the socks. But you don't need this. You really don't. It's cute, but I have not used this since I got it on a KLM flight. Another tough love thing, you do not need to disinfect everything that you've ever seen. This is a big internet trend to get on the plane, wipe everything down, spray disinfectant all over the tray and all over the armrests and all over the headrest, or to go into the bathrooms in foreign places, or go to your hotel room. That's the one that just cracks me up now, is people go into their hotel room and they disinfect the entire hotel. Let me tell you, your house is not clean. Your house has germs in it, but you live in it and it's fine. And hey, remember, our generation ate dirt. We drank water from the fountain and from the hose, right? If you drank hose water when you were 6 years old, you don't need this. So that's everybody in this room. You don't need disinfectant. It's okay. You're going to be fine. This is really sad because you don't need this. This is a sketchbook. I love watercolor painting. I love taking journals. This weighs a lot, and I've taken this on 3 trips, and it's not enough. So these days we just don't do this unless you intentionally say, I'm going on a sketching trip, or I'm blocking out time every day for sure to do this, go ahead. But you're probably gonna get swept up in the moment with things that you're doing, and you're just not gonna do that. So be honest with yourself. Like knitting is another thing. I bring knitting with me everywhere. Do I do it? No. And then I come home and my knitting project is now completely ruined because I don't remember where I was. So be honest with yourself about hobbies. You're probably not gonna do this. Your travel is what you're doing. So consider it that way. You don't need weird little gadgety tripods, and you don't need this. Like you don't. I know this because all of these things came out of a bag of things that I just need to get rid of because I never use them. So I don't use that. I'm actually a travel writer, and I don't use this. So you're not going to use it either. You don't need big, heavy binoculars. You don't. I don't care where you're going. You don't need something that weighs this much. I mean, and there's stuff like binoculars in your world that you're really tempted, but it weighs a lot. So, you know, it's kind of like finding your soulmate. It's either a yes or it's a no. So if you're looking at something and you're like, it's a maybe, I might use the binoculars, I might. It's a no. There's a yes and there's a no. You know, do I need my toothbrush? Yes. Do I need my binoculars? Maybe. So that means no, right? Yes.
If you have a pair of distance glasses that you wear when you're driving and that kind of thing, packing those can be kind of a substitute for binoculars in some
Oh, that's a good idea. Well, the other substitute is your phone. Your phone can be used to zoom into things, right? So you don't need things that you think you need. But I really do want to insist on this idea of think about your bag like your love life. Your soulmate is a yes or it's a no. There's no in between. It's a yes or it's a no. Maybe I'm just harsh about that. That was my discovery in dating. It's a yes or it's a no. Here's a real tough love one with the Rick Steves fans in the audience. You're not gonna like. You don't need this.
Yeah, I don't do that.
We don't do this. This was when I started working for Rick Steves, we forced everybody to wear these money belts. And they made everybody miserable. I found all kinds of ways to make it okay. I used to wear it behind and tucked into the back of my pants. The thing is, most people, and this is true, that bring money belts, wear them on the outside of their clothes. They do because they don't know how to use them. They're not supposed to be on the outside of your clothes because when you do that, everybody knows that's exactly where your passport is. And then they're just gonna go, yoink, and they're gonna take it. I haven't used a money belt in probably 15 years. So times have changed. I don't think we carry as much cash on us as we used to. I don't think we carry as many precious things as we used to. Our phone is the precious thing, right? So you don't need a money belt. You don't. What you do need is a bag that has a really sturdy crossbody strap and all of your important stuff, documents in a pouch secured to the inside of your bag. You don't need to wear money belts anymore. Please burn it, and we can burn it together. Well, I mean, how fat did you feel wearing that? I always used to tell in my packing classes, like, the best thing about the money belt, because it's so thick and you wear it for like 2 weeks, you get home and you take it off and you feel like you lost 20 pounds, which is great,
Yeah.
but like, don't even start, so just don't bother. You don't need this. I got this for Christmas. Sorry to my boyfriend who bought it for me. You don't need this. This is a travel adapter with a million things. You don't need this. You need the little tiny one, which is just the plugs for the country you're going to. You're not going to go to the Gobi Desert and then to Paris and then to Argentina. You're not. You're not going to do that. You're going to go one place, get the adapter for that place, bring only that one. These actually, I've had them catch on fire before. The ones that try to do too many things. Just don't. Just get the stupidest, most simple one you can. Here's one that is going to make many women sad. There's two things that are going to make many women sad. You don't need this. This is old-time thinking. We used to think we had to bring a special travel hairdryer. I can't think of a single hotel I've stayed at in the last 10 years that didn't have a hairdryer. If it's not in your room, you can go and you can get one at the front desk. Unless you're staying in hostels, and I don't think anybody in this room is staying in hostels. I think hostels even have hairdryers these days. So you do not need a travel hairdryer. You don't. And if you bring a travel hairdryer, you're going to be most likely person in the group to blow the fuses for the whole hotel. So if you want that dishonor, go ahead, but you don't need this. And then this is going to be the hardest sell to all the women, not all the women, but some of the women in the room. You don't need this. If you have hair that is so fussy that it looks terrible without a curling iron, flat iron, whatever, consider a new hairstyle maybe, because you don't need this. And I know people are very attached to their hairstyles, but again, like nobody's ever going to see you again. And your hair, I know that for a lot of women, their hair is everything, and that's a hard sell because you want to have it look good, but this weighs a lot. And how much time do you spend curling your hair, styling your hair, when you could be out shopping in Paris, or you could be out seeing a cool museum? Like, this is just a lot of weight and a lot of time you're going to spend on your hair. And if you don't bring it, you might find you can get along without it. So, but that's kind of the point of all of this stuff. The point of my philosophy is you're going to go home and you're going to be shocked at how little you actually need. And then you're going to walk in the door and you're going to say, burn it all. Like, please, take all the things I own. I don't need any of them because this is really all I needed to get along. And this was even more. I think this is probably even more. So I have a couple of homework items for you. So item number one, I want you to go home and I want you to inventory the travel gear you have. I'm going to post on my website or on my Facebook page later today a worksheet for you that you can print out. It's a PDF. And you can print it and you can describe your travel clothes that you really like. You can describe all of your luggage that you like with the weight and everything. And you can work towards understanding what you have. That way you're not prone to buying stuff you don't need. Because I think we do that. So I have a little worksheet. Like I said, I'm going to put it on my Facebook page and you can download it. And then you can use that to try and figure out, okay, what do I already have? That's number one. Number two is going to be, what do you really need? And the best way to figure that out is by looking at what you didn't use. So when you get home from a trip, be honest with yourself. Go through the bag, and any little thing you did not use, and I'm looking at you, sketchbook, in the wrapper still. Clearly, it's still in its wrapper. I did not use this. Start a bag full of things that you just put it in a bag. Have a bag, if you travel a lot, have a bag in your closet, and every time you come home, take the things you didn't use and put them in that bag. And then after a while, have a look at that bag and go, does this go to Goodwill? Is this the devil's temptation bag telling me, please put me in your bag, even though you'll never use me? I think it's really important to be honest with ourselves. And once you do that, I realized not bringing a sketchbook with me actually helped me to sketch more in a weird way because I stopped bringing it. But when I decided, oh, I really want to do this, there's an art store I can go to and I can buy a pen and I can buy a small sketchbook if I really need to. If the barrier is me going to an art store, I was never really dedicated to that idea anyway. So that's another idea. If there's something that's missing and you're so attached to it, you can go buy it. But if that trip to go buy it is the thing that's keeping you from, the math doesn't work for me. So keep a bag full of things you just didn't use, and then this is going to be the honesty bag. And you'll look through it after 6 months or a year and go, did I use any of these things? No. Well, they're actually going to go back into my closet, or I'm just going to give them away to Goodwill. So the idea for me now, which has changed over time, we consume too much when we travel. And I think we as a travel community, it would be really great for us to reuse things or buy things that are going to last us forever, have the intention to only buy one thing. And another good way to kind of look at things is, what are things that are on their way out? What's a pair of pants that I'm kind of ready to give away and put to Goodwill? I'll take that traveling with me and just kill it, just use it and just use it till it's done and then throw it away at the end of the trip. So I think there's a lot of ways that we can reduce our footprint, reduce the way we affect the places we go. The one thing I didn't include here is a water bottle. Nobody needs to purchase new water bottles when you get to your destination. You can certainly take the bottle of water from the airplane and reuse that, right? So always keep that stuff in mind because you're a better traveler. Okay, so any questions about any of that? Yes, ma'am.
Keeping your phone safe from snatch and grabs?
A leash.
Oh, yes, a leash. Unfortunately, he is filming me with my phone, but that particular phone has 2 little loops on the bottom, and you can put a leash on it. So there's lots and lots of good options. If you have a phone case you already love and you don't want to buy a new one, you can get these kind of like rubber kind of leashes that kind of you fold onto it. You can get ones that's just a little tab you put into the slot where your phone power cord comes in, and then you can get a leash you put on there. My big advice with that, please don't buy a cute one. Like I had a really cute one that was made of pearls that I got in Japan. I think that somebody in the audience remembers that. It was so cute. And then I accidentally snagged it and it snapped immediately because it was a fashion item, right? Don't buy a fashion lanyard for your phone. You want a tactical. Yeah, I have like a military grade tactical lanyard for my phone. And that's what you want. And I would even go so far as to say when you hook your lanyard onto your phone, get a safety pin and pin that again, or get a twist tie and twist it again, because sometimes the latches come undone. And I cannot find one that doesn't come undone occasionally. So that's a really extra hot tip. When you put the lanyard on your phone, even if it looks secure, get a twist tie and give it another go. Because yeah, the snatch and grabs, I think some of you guys remember when I was standing on a street corner in Barcelona on my phone going, where's Casa Batlo? And somebody came by on their phone and grabbed it out of my hand and rode out. However, I had the lanyard under my hood. So they couldn't tell that I had a strap on it. And so they didn't get away with it. It gave me kind of a scratch on my shoulder, but I didn't lose my phone. So highly recommend that you get some sort of attachment. Yeah, you have a question?
The backpack, I mean, is like wonderful, but what about your bag?
Well, see, it really depends on what you can carry. So it really is up to you. That's why this bag, one that I packed, it was only about 12 pounds. That's pretty light for most people to carry. So it really depends on you, what you are able to carry. If you can't carry a backpack, by all means, get a rolling bag. But there are wonderful ultralight bags out there. There's a company called IT bags, and they make rolling bags that are under 4 pounds. So there are rolling bag options if you want to keep it really light. This super light little bag like this, I have seen people in their 80s use it. So if you pack super light, but it's really up to you. And the way you find that out is you pack your bag a week ahead and then go to Green Lake or wherever in your neighborhood, walk for 20 minutes with that bag on your back. And then most likely you're gonna come home and go, yeah, I don't need some of these things. Maybe I only can do with 2 pairs of shoes. So, but yeah, it's really up to you and also your physique and all that. Yeah.
Tell me about what you do with a coat and umbrella.
I am from Seattle. Do you think I own an umbrella? Carrie, come on. No, I don't own an umbrella. I don't bring an
Do you
umbrella.
ever bring a poncho or anything like that?
I don't. What I typically will bring is, it really depends on the destination, but like Indonesia where it rained cats and dogs.
It rains hard there.
Cats and dogs. Some of us just got wet. Some of us just got completely drenched to the bone. You can bring a Gore-Tex jacket. That's what I would do in that case with the hood. I mean, that's a very Seattle answer to that question, but I don't like buying umbrellas because they usually end up in the waste stream because they get ruined or lost. Although I consider umbrellas to be communal to the world. Like, if I find an umbrella somewhere, I take it and use it, and then if I lose it, I just feel like, that's just going back into the stream of umbrellas.
Someone else is going to use it, yeah.
Somebody else will use it, and it's fine. Don't buy an expensive umbrella you're going to get attached to, because you will lose it eventually.
And they're heavy anyway.
Yeah, so I would just really recommend a really good quality lightweight Gore-Tex jacket. Columbia makes a few good ones. On Cloud actually used to make a really good one that was super lightweight. So there are waterproof ones that weigh almost nothing. That's a good question. Any other questions? All right, where are we going next, right? I'm going to India, so I don't think I'll be taking any of this to India with me. The one thing I usually also suggest, if you have followed all the rules, you followed all the rules, you have a very lightweight backpack, you're super happy with what you brought, you've gotten completely minimal, I'm going to give you permission to do something. Bring an impulse item. Bring an item that has no necessity but brings you joy. My item, as many of you know, is my down pillow, because that makes me comfortable every single day. So if there is something that does not fit the profile of the things I've talked about, but it brings you joy, that's okay too. Some people will bring a framed photo of, like, their dog, or some people will bring their knitting. It's okay to bring something that makes you happy and brings you joy every day, but only one. So this is what I always told my kids when we go to the grocery store, only one impulse item. That's it. Once you've gotten to there, no more. And if you follow these rules, though, I think you're going to have no problem. The only other point I wanted to make is that this is only a strategy for going there, okay? So if I'm going to Italy, I've done really well. I've really followed it. I've been able to walk on the plane and walk right out of the plane and into a taxi, and I didn't waste any time at baggage claim. Didn't lose my bag. On the way back is different, right?
Yes.
So this is the other thing I recommend you bring. Find yourself, if you're going somewhere cool where you may be tempted to buy neat things, bring yourself a little goodie bag. So this is an ultra lightweight duffel bag that I carry. You can also use this for grocery shopping if you wanted to go have a picnic and you need something to carry your bottle of wine. Highly recommend bringing a super lightweight, very durable one, but with a zipper. The zipper is the critical part because this can now be a check bag. So if I go somewhere and when I go to India next month, I always like to buy fabrics and things like that in India, so I'm gonna bring this bag with me and I'll probably fill it up with goodies. On the way home, this will be checked and this will be checked. It doesn't matter going home. If they lose your bag, who cares? They'll find it eventually and you didn't have to carry it to the car. So don't worry about checking on the way home, only there. That's the only thing we're talking about. Okay?
Do you use air tags or any identification trackers?
That's a really good question, and yes, I do have an air tag in one of my other backpacks, and now a lot of airlines are actually connecting to that.
Yeah.
So that is pretty cool. The one thing I would caution though is don't purchase the bags that have Bluetooth trackers in them natively, because those are being outlawed in certain countries on airplanes.
That's interesting.
Air tags are okay, but don't buy a bag that advertises Bluetooth tracking device. Also, do not buy a bag that says power bank already built into the bag, because you will not be able to travel in Asia. They will reject your bag. You're going to have to throw that bag away. So don't buy anything other than a framework you can stuff things in. That's all you need. You don't need all these bells and whistles. A lot of them are getting bags rejected from flights, so those you don't need. But yeah, the air tags are pretty cool. Just please be sure to connect yours to your phone, because I have had so many people on planes when I'm getting on a plane, my phone is pinging me going, air tag nearby, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Somebody did not connect their air tag, and now it's telling everybody on the plane about it. So please be sure you connect it properly before you travel. But that's a great question. Any other questions or thoughts? Okay, I think that's all for tonight. I want to thank Tina and our Title IX friends for inviting us. And I do want to just point out, she put some of my favorite stuff here for you guys to have a look at. These pants I 100% endorse, as well as this dress, which also comes in black. This could be the dress of your dreams because look, zipper pockets. Zipper pockets are very hard to find in clothing, so this is like theft-proof dress. So highly recommend having a look at some of their really great clothes. I wear them and I love them, and buy things that last. Don't buy things you can only use once. Okay? So I'll be here to answer questions if you want. Yeah. I have little sheets with all of our tour information right over there. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me. AdventuresWithSarah.net is my website. Feel free to contact me if you have any other questions. If you like the packing stuff, I've got 500 videos on YouTube, including the stuff I did for Reese's years ago. So you can go down the rabbit hole of all the other random, weird recommendations that I have, because there's a lot of them. So, thanks for coming. Thank you.